All right. Hey, out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, this is a special live broadcast. It is a pre-game or a pre-day or a bonus day, however you want to call it, for our upcoming 4-day workshop. So, this is an early access day where we're going to be digging in to help people who need help finding the niche market or the topic of their business. Maybe you have a little bit of uncertainty on what that should be, or you need a little bit of guidance, some Q&A, whatever you need help with to isolate and find the perfect business topic, the perfect niche market for you is my goal to help you with today. So you're all set up for our workshop that starts tomorrow. That's what this is all about. And we're doing this special pre-early access day public. So this is out on public where anyone can access it. And we have a live chat coming in there as well. And with that, we're going to kick things off. And by the way, who here is already registered? Give me a yes or a not yet. Have you registered for the Just 4 Hours challenge? Let me know in the chat panel on the screen here. Give me a yes or a not yet if you have registered for our upcoming challenge, because this is a special early access day. Like I had mentioned, I think everybody has registered. Looks like a lot of people have registered. A couple not yets, though. A couple not yets. Here we can. There's the chat flying by there. So I guess a bunch of yeses. I have seen a couple of not yets come in. So here's what I'm going to do really quickly. Let me just retrieve the link just in case you have not joined. I will pop it out there and then I'm going to pin that into the chat as well. Let me just quickly pin that so it stays in the chat. That's where you can join, because starting tomorrow, they're private. So this is our public day. We're out here in the open for a live stream for everyone to join. And then tomorrow, these broadcasts go private, and you will not be able to get access unless you register. And you can head on over there to the link you see there, which I'll show it on screen there for just a second. So you can head over there and grab your ticket. So it is free, by the way, so there is no charge for our private workshop. And I'll be spending an hour a day with you. Again, starting today, we'll be running for about an hour today, an hour tomorrow, and so on. It'll be Monday through Thursday. So we'll do those next 4 days, and we'll be working together. Now, the goal of this challenge is to actually launch you a business. So whether you want to start a brand new business, or maybe you've got a business you've been tinkering on and you would like to get more traffic and more sales and really get it out there on the internet, either way, we will launch your business and you will have traffic coming to that business. I guarantee you that over the next 4 days. So on day 4, in fact, some of you will be getting leads, maybe even sales coming in by day 4. It is quite a phenomenon to witness, to watch your whole business come together, launch, and actually get traffic, which is the part that so many people get stuck with. They tinker and study and mess around with different tools and strategies and stuff, and they never quite get to the point of getting actual people to visit their websites and buy stuff from them, or click on their links or help them earn commissions. They never get to that point. And today, or this week, I guarantee you that if you join with me, and it's free, so my big whopping guarantee, you get a 100% refund of $0. But I guarantee you that if you spend the next 4 days with me and take action, that you will launch your business and you will have traffic coming to that business. I guarantee it. Now, this is part of that 4-day challenge, and we will be using Buildy.ai will be the tool that we are going to be using, because all you need is one single tool to research, to launch, to deploy, have websites up, get leads coming in, build apps, sales funnels, stores, everything you need for traffic. You just need one platform, and that is Buildy.ai. And I think a lot of the people watching here already have a Buildy.ai subscription. Anybody here not yet? Give me a not yet in the chat if you're not on a Buildy.ai plan currently. So let me know in the chat. Say not yet. See, great questions coming in too, which, by the way, we'll be doing Q&A throughout this broadcast today. But I see this is Major Kiki says, is it free or paid traffic? Both. You actually can launch free and paid traffic, have them both running by the end of day 4. Okay. Oh, several not yets here. So here, I'll pop the chat panel back in there. So several not yets, lots of not yets. Okay. Let me give you a special link. Hold on, everybody. I have a special link for you. All of the not yets. You can go get a 10-day free trial. Okay. So you'll be able to get 10 days access for free. So let me pop that into the chat there. So number 1, make sure you're registered for the workshop. If you want to show up with me and work together, that's free. No charge for that. The second part is you'll need a Buildy AI subscription. You'll have 10 days. I'm going to give you a 10-day trial when you use the link that I just put into the chat there. Here, I'll show it on the screen there as well. So when you head over there, claim your free trial. Now, this is a free trial will be offered to anyone who is new to Buildy AI. If you had previously tried to register or previously had an account, the system might not offer you that 10-day trial. But if you are a brand new customer, you will be offered a 10-day free trial, and you will be able to use all of the features. And I recommend, by the way, when you go claim your free trial, that you pick the Pro plan. The Pro plan has all of the features in it that I'm going to be using with our challenge. You're going to be able to do all your email marketing, all of your social media marketing, all your ads, all your search engine marketing, like if you want to rank in Google and places like that. All of that is included in the Pro plan. So when you grab that trial, grab the Pro plan, and it won't charge you not even $1. Won't charge you not even a penny today. It'll be $0 today. You do have to put a credit card in. So that's how you reserve and lock in your spot. So we know you're a legitimate an account. And then only if you decide you like it, you love Buildy, in 10 days will be when the subscription begins. So 10 days from today, the subscription would begin. And then we're going to do this. So you can go through the whole challenge completely free. All the training for me is free. All of the, the live sessions that we'll be doing together are free. And then the software is free for 10 days. My goal is that you are so blown away that you actually have a business launched and deployed with a site running, a way to make money, and traffic flowing in the door, that how in the heck could you ever say no to wanting to keep your Buildy subscription, right? That's my goal, is that you are so blown away that you just don't have a choice but to keep Buildy going forward. But of course, if you're not blown away, you do not like Buildy and it's not for you, you just cancel before those 10 days are up, and then it is completely free. You will never be charged for it. So let's do that. I wish I could pin more than one link in there. But first up, make sure you go to Just 4 Hours and register for the challenge. Second, grab your free trial, and then you will be able to implement everything I'm going to be teaching you completely for free over the next few days. All right, that is our agenda. So I am going to pull up my screen share, and we shall get started. Let me just find the right screen. Let me share that income there. And let me pull the other microphone in over here. Okay, I think we're set. And we'll take it full screen. As it says on the screen there, this is our pre-day bonus session. And today I'll be showing you exactly how you choose your perfect niche market. Because I don't want you to build a business that is going to fail. I don't want you to build a business that is going to be difficult for you or that you don't enjoy. My goal for you is that we're going to build a business together that you actually love. You enjoy the business, you get reward, it's fulfilling, and you're making money at the same time. That is what we're going to do together. And that, by the way, is how, personally, I think how you guarantee that you're going to be successful in a business is that you at least have to enjoy it. You can't have a business that you just don't like, which is why I really don't like the advice when people to tell you to start a business in a hot niche market or a trending niche market when you don't care, you don't know anything about it, you don't care about it, and you could jump into a market like that. Personally, most people that I see do that fail. So let's get into what you should be doing. And what we'll be doing today is first, we're going to choose the perfect niche market for you personally. This is not one of these one size fits all. So we're going to show you an exercise and a little strategy that you're actually going to use. And we're going to use AI to help you with this. So it gets a little bit easier, but we're going to pick the perfect niche for you, the one that fits perfectly to give you the highest odds of success and profits that you can put in your pocket, because that's what we're doing this for. You're going to build a business that you enjoy, while at the same time being incredibly profitable. And I want you to be confident as you charge in and start your new business that you know exactly who your customers are, how you're going to make money, and how this whole thing comes together. And that's my target by the end of today. This is what we're going to achieve together. And then you will have your path, and you'll know your future path to get towards how do you get money coming through. This is all part of the 4-day build-a-thon, as I mentioned before. This is a free workshop. Today, it's our public day. We're out in the open, and we have a special early pre-day. The official workshop starts tomorrow, and if you want a ticket, it's free. There's no charge for the live rest of this. All the rest of the sessions will be held in a private, locked, closed environment. And if you would like a ticket, it's free. Just go to just4hours.com and register there. And again, we're going to be using Buildy AI to put this all together. And if you're not familiar with Buildy, it's an all-in-one tool that builds and markets your business for you, from building your website, building apps, building sales funnels, building online stores and shops. Anything you need to build, you just literally have a verbal, you just turn on the microphone and talk to Buildy, and it will build them, deploy them, host them, and run them for you. In addition, we have what's called the CRM, which is your customer relationship management tool. That's where all your contacts and leads and things go. All of that is included. And you can get a free trial when you go to buildy.ai/start. So all of this comes included. It is literally everything you need to get traffic, to run your business, to start your business, and to scale and grow it. So that's what we'll be using throughout the 4-day challenge. And here I'm trying to get there we go. So now, what is a niche market? You've heard a lot of people probably throw this term around, and I want to get it really cleared up and out of the way so then nobody has any confusion when I say what a niche market is. Now, it's a focused, targetable segment of a broader market, right? So if you think of like men over 50, right? Men over 50 is a very broad, big market. So if we're going to find a niche market, we want to zero it down a little bit and make it more targetable. So it might be something like men over 50 who are interested in health or longevity, right? That might be an example of a niche market. Could also be people who like indoor gardening, right? That's a very popular niche. Or people who like outside gardening in desert climates. There's a whole niche surrounding how to do gardening with minimal water. And so it's kind of like, if you think of it like this, it's kind of like Goldilocks. Remember the Goldilocks story where it was the porridge had to be not too hot and not too cold. It had to be just right. So that's what we want. We want a niche that is not too broad and big, right? Like some people might say, well, I want to go into the pet niche or the dog niche. That's way too broad, way too big. So not in the Goldilocks zone. And they may also get really, really specific where they might be like, I want to serve, I want to go after people who have dachshunds, who live in apartments and want to do behavioral training, right? That's too small. We want to find somewhere in the middle, that spot where it's like not too big, not too small, right in the middle, so we can really speak to that audience, understand what they need and want, and particularly what they want. We can target them with ads and social media and just search engines. We can get them to come to our website and buy stuff from us. If we're too big and broad, where we're trying to do way too many things to way too many people, we can't get an effective marketing message out there. We can't target them very well, and then we're not going to succeed. But if we pick a way too small of a market, then what happens is you're stuck being small. You never can grow. You can't make your business grow and scale and get to substantial profitability, which is why we want to find a spot right in the middle. Does that make sense, by the way? And also, I see somebody saying it shows starting soon, but I think I'm coming through. Just want to double check. Can everybody confirm? Am I coming through okay? I think I am based on the chat panel, but someone says it says it's not starting yet. So you guys were answering my chat question, so I have to be coming through, right? Okay. That was weird. Yeah, someone is in the chat, but they say it shows starting soon, but okay. Oh, maybe you're talking about just 4 hours. That's what it is. I think you're talking about just 4 hours. Okay. Okay, good. All right, I was way thrown off by that comment. Sorry, everybody. But while we're here chatting in the comment section, anybody here have any questions about this concept? If you want to target people with your business where it's like not super tiny specialized, also not too big and broad, somewhere right in the middle. Any questions about this before we move on? I just want to make sure everyone is clear and totally understands what that's all about. Yeah, good. Okay, awesome. All right, I'll give a moment here. Actually, this is a perfect time for me to grab some coffee. So cheers, everyone, while I drink a bit of coffee. And make sure if you have any questions about this, you can pop them in right now while I drink my coffee. And if not, everybody's good, then we're going to move right along. All right. Got to have the caffeine. That's what powers the show. Okay. Okay, here's a good one from Major Kiki. I was considering targeting massage business owners, but then I was curious if I should target massage studios or licensed massage therapists or both. Personally, I haven't done the research, but I would say Kiki or Major Kiki, I would say I would do both. That's an area where I think maybe it might be a little too small if you're only looking for individual licensed therapists, but I would target the whole like massage industry as a whole. So yeah, I think I would make that a little bit broader so you don't end up being too small, but you're still very targetable. You're still going to speak with a single message that your audience is going to like. That's what I would do. Okay, cool. Good. So Edward says, how do you quantify the Goldilocks niche? This is a great question. I know it's best to be scientific, precise, and look at math and numbers when making marketing decisions, right? This is one of the rare cases where I don't always look at the numbers, right? So one of the things that you could do is start to look at search engine numbers and look at, there are tools you can go out and find out how many people are searching for different words and phrases. That is one way to do it. But personally, I find that it's something that I just have to think about, right? So I just have to use logic to think, what is something, so if, let's say, for example, I'm interested in the topic of dogs. We'll go back to that. And obviously, hey, I'm going to go after the dog market is too broad, right? I can't sell like all things to all dog owners. I can't sell food and toys and pets and behavioral thing and supplements. And like if I go after everything in that market, it's just too broad. And we can kind of use a bit of logic to realize that. But then a niche down that might be good would be, okay, I want to go after dog training and behavioral issues that people might be having. Here we're getting a little bit better, but we're still not like really specific, because remember, we want our niche to be targetable and we want to be able to speak a marketing message to them that is like a unified thing that they will all resonate with and understand, right? So as an example, someone who maybe has, I don't know, a Saint Bernard dog. I've had several Saint Bernards over the years, actually. But so say someone is living in a rural environment with a giant yard and they've got a Saint Bernard, right? Let's say that's one. Another person might be living in an urban environment. Maybe they have a small dog and they live in an apartment. Well, those two markets are going to think wildly differently. They're going to respond to things wildly differently. And again, I'm just using logic. I'm not looking at any numbers. So what might be an example of then where we can find the middle? The middle might be, one example could be dog owners who live in urban environments who want to deal with behavioral training. That's an example of a perfect Goldilocks niche. Not too broad. It's not all dog training to all dogs, but it's still big enough where there's enough dog owners living in an urban environment. And then you may also go the opposite direction. Maybe you want to go for, dog training for dog owners in a rural environment would have a whole different set of things that they are concerned about and worry about. You know what I mean? So it takes a bit of logic. And this is something where we can't necessarily just go look at like some keyword search numbers and pick a niche. I hope that's helpful. I know it's not the precise answer you were looking for, but that's really how to do it, is with just good logic. And again, you're looking for these two things. One, is it targetable? Is it a group of people who exist online somewhere, right? Do they hang out in Facebook groups? Are they available for you to target? And number two, can you communicate a message that is good for all of them? Okay, awesome. Let's see. And by the way, I'm flying solo today. I don't have anybody helping me in chat. For the rest of the workshop, I'm going to have a whole team here to help support me. But today, it's just me flying solo here out in the public. So be patient with me if I miss your questions or don't see them, okay? Okay, so here's someone, realtors that need grant money for down payment and closing cost money for first-time home buyers. So this is from Debbie. So Debbie, I might say realtors that help first-time home buyers, right? I think that's not quite as specific as what you're doing. You're specifically looking for only realtors who work with people that need grants. I might broaden that a little bit and be realtors who work with first-time home buyers. That would be my suggestion there. Cool. Timothy says, is this offer different than the voice agent I've seen before? So Timothy, this is not an offer. This is a workshop. This is a 4-day-long workshop that's free that you can join. We're going to use Buildy.ai to do all of the steps, but I'm going to help you launch any kind of business you want to launch, and we're going to do it for free. That's what this is. And again, to join the challenge, you go to just4hours.com and then be sure to claim your Buildy account. So you're going to need to be on a plan at Buildy, which I just popped that link out there again. And there you go. Cool. And then I'm just going to call you Rad. Rad says, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but Rad says, pick a problem. That's a good way to look at it. If you can kind of hang your whole market around a central problem, let's look at that dog one as another example again, right? So I talked about, I love the urban pet training market. I think that's a great market. And they have a unique problem, which is they have a pet that has probably got high energy and like behavioral needs of a dog, and they live in an urban environment. So they have a series of related problems. It's not just necessarily one single problem, but a series of related problems of how do they help their dog behave and live a fulfilled life in an urban environment, right? So that's kind of the central problem. So I love how you point that out. Okay. So Timothy says subscription price. So there's a bunch of different plans. Go to buildy.ai/start. They all have a free 10-day trial. So you just got to pick the plan that fits your pricing. I recommend the Pro plan. That's the one that has all of the features, that all the marketing tools, all the features are on the Pro plan. But there are plans to fit any budget. Just go check that out and grab your account there. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on. So I think at this point, we're going to get back to our slide deck. And oh, I forgot, I even used that example here on the deck, which was over here, all dogs, too specific, is only training poodles not to bite in high-rise apartments, right? That's too specific. The Goldilocks zone was right here. Behavioral training for urban people. Who here has been through my Ikigai training? I am curious who has been through that. Give me a yes or a not yet. Or maybe you're going, what the heck is an Ikigai? It's not a dude. It's not an icky guy. Yeah, let me know if you've been through the training with me on Ikigai. Yes or not yet? Oh, I like Michaela's answer. Here, we'll put it on the screen there. Oh, where'd it go? It flew by too fast. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Several yeses. A lot of you have. A few not yets. And remember, a little lesson. I say this on all my trainings, but I never say no, right? To almost anything. Usually, if it's a goal or a positive thing I want to learn or something I want to know or something I want to have, I never, ever, ever say no. Like, no, I don't have $1 billion. Not yet. Not yet do I have $1 billion, right? Or I don't know how to do X. Well, not yet do I know how to do X. So you'll find I ask you questions about things, and it's a change and it's a shift, and it's so subtle, but it is so powerful to shift your thinking. So when I ask you if you know something, or I ask you if you've done something or have achieved something, think about it from the frame of you haven't yet done that. Don't say no. And this very subtle shift in thinking really changes your patterns of success. And it's I'm not going to dive into it and get into a whole personal development session today, but it is powerful, yet it is so simple to do. So that's why you hear me always ask yes or not yet, right? That's exactly why. So now let's get to Ikigai. So Ikigai is a Japanese concept. It's very old. I think it traces back to over 2,000 years ago. And they talk about it being finding your reason for being, or like, what do you want to do when you grow up? The big question. I don't even know yet, right? But it's all about finding how are you going to make your way in the world and make money and have a happy, fulfilled life at the same time, right? Because we need money to survive. But we also want to have a fulfilled life. And so Ikigai is a Japanese strategy of how to achieve that. And so I have adapted it and sort of borrowed from it to help us pick the best niche markets or the best businesses that we can launch and make a lot of money and be fulfilled at the same time. It sounds pretty cool, right? Who likes the idea of that? Give me a me in the chat. Give me a me in the chat if you like the idea of a business that is fulfilling and makes you a pile of money at the same time. I actually have found my Ikigai. I can say that. What I'm doing right here with you right now is my Ikigai. I love marketing. I love persuasion, selling, working with people, but most importantly, I love my fellow entrepreneurs. Many, many years ago, I realized while I was hanging out in, seminars and conferences and masterminds that, man, entrepreneurs are my people, right? I really love people who think like me. They're striving to build something in the future. They're striving to build something better for themselves, their families, and their customers. You are my people. And I love it when I can help you succeed. That is my ikigai. And so when I can do that and have a big booming business, and I've made tens of millions of dollars in this market serving entrepreneurs, I've made over $100 million total in my career as an online business owner. But serving this market, I've made tens of millions of dollars, and I've actually closed down other businesses so I could focus here with you, because I really do. There is something, I don't know why, but deep in my heart, there is this desire to want to help my fellow entrepreneurs. And so when I can make a lot of money doing so, that's fantastic. And so I want to help you find whatever that is for you. That's the whole purpose of this concept. All right. So I want to give you a visual demonstration of ikigai so you can really start to grasp this. We're going to take 4 concepts and we're going to do a little exercise together. So we're going to be in search of your ikigai. And what we're going to do is we're going to first start out with things that you love. And you're going to make a list. I like to make my list on good old-fashioned paper, but you can make it in a spreadsheet. You could put it on a notepad. You could use your favorite notes app, whatever you want to use. Just make a list of things that you love or like, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to be head over heels in love with it, right? But do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Do you have affinity for the activity? It could be a hobby, right, that you enjoy. It could be maybe you love your profession. Maybe you love what you do. Maybe you love a certain topic. Like some people just absolutely love dogs, and so right or they have a knack or an affinity for helping a dog with dog training, right? So we're going to make a list. We're going to make 4 columns. Your first column is what are things that you love or like, right? I really think like is probably a better word, but what are the things that you like or love? And I want you to spend some time thinking about this because people get very hung up on this. So just spend a little bit of time thinking through your life on things, and it doesn't have to be right at the moment. Maybe you had a hobby that you did 10 years ago and you haven't had time to do it since, but you really liked it. Well, that should go on the list, right? Maybe it's a topic that you studied in school, or maybe it's something about health or particular aspect, or that maybe there are things that you have done related to health that you really, really like. Okay. But you're going to make a list, and you don't want it to be a giant list. Okay. This list, can have anywhere from, I would say, 2 to maybe probably max, maybe 10 would be the absolute maximum, so maybe like 2 to 5, 2 to 10, something in that range. So you're going to make a column and you're going to list those out. Then you're going to make another list. In column 2, you're going to list things that you're good at. Now, what's funny is I find that this is the place where most people need the most help. Because sometimes we don't acknowledge what we're good at. And we're a little bit self-conscious, a little bit shy. But I want you to think about things that maybe you've been praised for in the past, where someone said, man, you sure are good at X. Or I love the paintings that you did. And maybe you're very self-conscious about your art, but you get lots of compliments about it. So other people have told you that you're good at it. This goes on your list. Whether you personally feel a little embarrassed or shy or self-conscious about it, doesn't matter. Ignore all the negative chatter in your mind about it. Are there things that you have been praised for being good at, or are there things that you just straight up know that you're good at? And that is what we're going to make for column number 2. then. And by the way, we're going to use AI in a minute. We're going to be using buildy.ai in just a minute when we have these lists together. The next one is what the world needs. Okay. And Buildy can help you with this one a little bit. So if you're like unsure, you don't really know how to do the research on what the world needs, then I'm going to show you the AI tool that we're about to use together will help you with this one. But you can also put that, maybe you already just know that, people need a particular thing, based on your own personal experience. There are lots of people that are looking for solutions and having problems that you can help solve. And it's needed, right, by the world at large. Well, you can put it on that list, right? A logical example of that might be, people over 50 are interested in longevity, right? They're getting into the second half of their life and they start to think about longevity. They're starting to notice illnesses and their energy levels declining and things, right? So they're interested in how do they live healthier, longer, happier lives? Well, that's a pretty obvious thing that we know people need and want. The other example would be, dog owners want dogs that are behaved, that are great, loving family members, right? That's a pretty obvious thing. Now, you can get very technical and you could go dive into, again, search engine marketing tools and things. But right now, we're just going to be thinking using logic. And if you struggle with this one, again, the AI tool that I'm about to show you will help you with that. You'll see in just a minute. Okay. And then the fourth and final one that we're going to dig in is what you can be paid for. Now, this again is a one that can be a little bit of a struggle to locate, and Buildy will help you with this. So your AI is going to really help you with the second two. The first two circles are very easy for you to do, right? Because you know what you like and you have some sense or what you've been told what you're good at. So the first two circles are your first two columns. You're going to make those lists. And if you feel like you know the answers to the second, which is what the world needs and what you can be paid for, put some answers in those columns too, if you know what they are. Okay. And again, if you're going to struggle with those, don't worry about it. The AI tool we're going to use in a minute will solve it for you. Make sense? So let's do this. I'm going to go back here. So I'm going to pause right here and I want to go to chat. So really quick, before we move on to the AI step that we're going to do together in a moment, anybody have questions about this concept, about finding what you like or love, finding what you're good at and putting it on this list? And then of course, what the world needs and what you can be paid for. Any questions about these things? And by the way, I see a lot of people asking about replays too. I forgot. I got some notes, some emails, and other communication. People wanting to know, can they rewatch a replay? So we are going to give you replays. So every day we do this, you'll have a replay for 24 hours. Okay, the replay will run for 24 hours, so you will be able to rewind this video that you're on right now and watch this section back again if you want to get a second chance to watch it. Okay, just so you know, throughout the whole thing for 24 hours, you'll be able to rewatch each day before the next day's training starts. That's how we're going to do it. And then we did offer a chance to get permanent recordings. If you want the permanent recordings, transcripts, cheat sheets, step-by-step checklists, guides, and a bunch of other stuff to accompany this, we did make that available when you registered. And I did see people asking for a second chance to get those permanent recordings. So maybe if there's enough interest, maybe a bit later, I'll give out the link to get the permanent recordings. But for now, every day will be available for everyone for 24 hours before we go to the next day. Okay. Okay, good. I don't see any questions popping up here that I can grab right now. So if I missed your question, apologies. But here's a good question. So Dawn says, how can I niche down from overweight women over 35? I like all natural solutions. Yeah, I would say like if you want to go after weight loss, I would think rather than saying over 35, because 35 to like 80 years old is a big, broad range. And this is Dawn asking in the chat. So I might niche that down to be like, women 35 to 50, maybe, or 35 to even 45. And that, because those women, you're going to speak to them in a completely different way. They might have different problems. They might have different goals. And then as people, start to age over 50s and to 60s and 70s, they're going to have completely different perspectives. So that might be one way you could niche that down. Okay. Cool. So here's a Radua. I'll just keep calling you Rad. So Rad says that they purchased our VIP package for recordings and other stuff, and they haven't seen anything yet. And that's absolutely right. It's supposed to be that way because we haven't done day one. So when day one is done, then you get the package of the recordings, the cheat sheets, all the stuff happens. It comes out to you after they're delivered, right? So they're recordings of sessions that haven't happened yet. So you'll be getting all of that stuff. So if you've purchased that, your extra add-on pack for recordings and such, you get those as we get through and finish the challenge. So those are all coming to everybody who got them. Okay. Cool. Same thing with Kathy. Okay. So Kathy, today is our early day. Our VIP doesn't start till tomorrow, so you'll be getting access to those. So don't worry about that. Everybody who opted in for the extra access, the extra VIP recordings, all that, you'll all get those. Don't worry. They're coming to you. All right. So let's move on from here. So, I've been saying this quite a bit already, but I'll say it one more time. We're using Buildy is what we're using together. This is the AI tool that we're all going to be doing. I'm going to pull Buildy up in just a second, and we're going to use it for our next step. Okay, so after you've done your Ikigai step, we're going to have an extra, we're going to go to Buildy, and we're going to talk to him and ask him for some advice on our niche. We're going to do that. So I want to make sure I give everybody a moment here to go to buildy.ai/start. And that is where you can claim your 10-day free trial so that you have access and so you can continue following along with the training and the rest of the workshop over the coming 4 days. So I'm going to give everybody just a moment to grab that. And as I mentioned before, you will have to put your credit card in when you go to claim your account. I recommend you pick up the Pro plan. So grab your Pro plan. It will be free for 10 days. You will have to put your credit card in. You won't be charged not even 1 penny today. Your subscription will begin in 10 days only if you love it and you want to keep it. And then it will start billing you in 10 days from today. And that's where you go to grab it. And we're about to go pull up Buildy and use Buildy for our very next step. So, and by the way, if you want to save that link, you can either go grab it right now or save that link, but it'll be available. This link that helps you get a free 10-day trial is available now, so you don't want to wait too long. Okay, got myself some more caffeine, and we're gonna do the next step. So here, let me go off of full screen here, and let me go to Buildy here. And pull this up, go full screen this way. So now we're logged into Buildy, and I'm going to refresh my page just to make sure that I got a good session here, and we're going to get started. And so now let's say you have done your Ikigai exercise, and maybe you have 2 or 3 things. You kind of looked it all over, and you're thinking, okay, I think I want to go after, well, you know what? We'll use that example of, I think that was Dawn, right? Dawn's example of she wants to serve women over 35 who are interested in weight loss. So I'm going to use, I hope you don't mind me using you as an example. We're going to now take that idea that we have kind of, maybe we've pulled that out of doing our exercise with Ikigai, and we've realized that's what we want to, that's who we want to help. It's very important. You want to actually help your customers. That's very important to having a successful business. So let's say that you've picked that out, and maybe you even have 2 or 3 different ideas. You can now go to Buildy and have a conversation with him and get his help. And by the way, what he will do is he's not only going to talk to you and talk you through this, he's going to do market research. Buildy will go out, search the web, pull back lots of data, learn all about your markets and your different choices, and then give you advice and guidance on what to do to start your business. That's what we're going to do right now. So let's give that a shot. We'll go back to the screen here. And now I'm going to fire it up and talk to Buildy. I'm just going to click speak with Buildy, and here we go.
Hey there, Bill. I'm Buildy. I can help you build a website, run market research, set up marketing campaigns, and more. What are you working on?
Yeah, I want to start a new business, but I'm a little confused on exactly what my niche should be. I'm interested in helping women 35 and over with weight loss, but I'm not sure of my niche exactly. I'm thinking like 35 to 80 is probably way too big of an age range. I'm also thinking about maybe it being like natural health and natural alternatives and natural ways to lose weight. And I need help really getting into what my niche should be, like what's my unique angle and my positioning and everything I need to start this new business. Can you do the market research for me? Come back and give me some advice.
That is a great space to be exploring. There is real demand there and a few distinct angles you could own. Let me get my team started on this right away. I am creating your project space around this research right now. Your project space is live, and the team is already digging into the market research on natural weight loss for women over 35. I'll keep you posted as things come in. This is going to be a solid foundation for figuring out exactly where you fit in this space.
All right, so now I've muted him so he doesn't hear me, but he's now building out and doing the research, and he's going to come back and start to give me
works on this. I'm curious. Do you have any background in health or wellness yourself, like coaching, nutrition, or personal experience with this journey?
Yeah, I've got my own personal journey that I have gone through in terms of I have lost 50 pounds myself using natural health and particularly focused on low carb and ketogenic lifestyle, along with some other natural healing. So I have my own journey, and I've done an extensive amount of research in the topic.
That is a powerful foundation. Your own 50-pound transformation is the kind of story that builds instant credibility and trust with an audience. The team is currently mapping out the niche landscape, so that is moving along nicely. One angle worth thinking about while we wait: women going through perimenopause and menopause, roughly ages 40 to 55, are one of the most frustrated and underserved groups in the weight loss space. They feel like nothing works for their changing bodies, and a keto and low-carb approach specifically framed around hormonal health and that life stage could be a really sharp positioning angle. Does that resonate with you at all?
I mean, I like that idea, but what about the women 35 to like 45? Should I just not focus on them and focus only on the perimenopause age?
That is a really good question, and honestly, the research coming in should help clarify this. The team is still pulling data right now. But my instinct is that the strongest positioning usually picks one primary avatar because it sharpens your messaging dramatically. Women 35 to 45 are often dealing with early hormonal shifts, slower metabolism, and stress-related weight gain, which actually overlaps a lot with the perimenopause conversation. So you might not have to choose. It could be framed as, your body is changing, and here is why what worked before no longer works, which speaks to both groups naturally.
I like that.
It also plays really well into the natural health angle, because that message, your body has changed and conventional diet advice is failing you, sets up a perfect reason why natural and low-carb approaches make more sense than just cutting calories. Let's see what the research surfaces, and then we can sharpen it from there.
Okay, so let's wait until the research is back. So let's go quiet and just come back and let me know as soon as the research is back, and then give me your opinion.
The research is back, and it's really strong. The team's recommendation is to position around what they're calling metabolic restoration, natural weight loss for women roughly 38 to 52 whose bodies have stopped responding to dieting the way they used to. The core message is essentially, you don't need more willpower, your body needs a new strategy, which directly addresses the frustration that audience feels without any shame or blame. The natural and low-carb angle fits perfectly into this, and your personal 50-pound transformation story is exactly the kind of credibility that makes this positioning land. A great next step would be building out your website so you have a home base for this brand. Want me to get started on that?
Actually, we'll come back to that. I'll come back and talk to you about that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to exit voice mode. And how cool is that, right? So we get to actually just have a nice back and forth conversation with Buildy. Let it give us advice based upon research. So let it go get the data for you, come back, and you can talk through what your niche should be. Now, as you noticed, Buildy is now recommending I carry on and build my website. Don't do that, okay? So for today's pre-training day, all we want to do is get feedback from Buildy, have it do market research, and then stop right there. Do not let it build your website. It's going to ask you to do so. It's going to recommend you do so. Do not do it. Tomorrow in our live training that we're going to do together, I have a very specific strategy that we're going to use to build your website. So you're going to mess it all up. If you start, don't get ahead of us. So don't start building your website yet if you're at this research stage. So just finish the research, have your conversation with Buildy, and then you'll be all set and ready for, to jump into action tomorrow. But do not build your website yet, okay? You'll regret it if you do, okay? So now I see a couple questions of like, how do you get the audio to work with Buildy? And let me show you that. First thing is, you will have to be on a Buildy plan. So remember, when you go to buildy.ai/start and grab your plan, you have to be on a trial plan. So you have to put your credit card in and gotten on a plan. I recommend the Pro plan. And then here, let me hide myself super fast. So if you're in a project, this is the project screen. If you're editing a project, you'll see down here that Speak with Buildy down here on the bottom left. When you click that, that's how you talk to Buildy. Now, your browser is going to pop up a notification asking for permission to use the microphone. You must give Buildy permission to use your microphone, or you won't be able to talk to him. The other place that you can see this, if we go here, I'm going to go to the home page real quick. So from the home page, you'll see that colored button right there, Speak with Buildy. Same thing there. When you click that, it opens a new project and lets you start having a chat, having a conversation with Buildy. All right. So that's how you open up this voice mode and get Buildy working. Okay. But again, you've got to be on one of our plans. So head on over to buildy.ai/start, sign up, and pick your plan, put your card in order to open this up and activate these features. So I have got more. We've got more coming, so don't go anywhere. But I want to do a quick round of Q&A. And by the way, so you saw how I was talking to Buildy there? Your whole experience can be just that. When it's time to build your website, what we're going to do tomorrow, you're just going to talk to him. You're just going to talk to him, go back and forth, get his opinion, get his advice, give him instructions, plain old English. No prompting here. I don't know about you, but there's like a million guides on how to do prompting, or, and I see people that will go to like using ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Claude, and they do all this work trying to come up with the perfect prompt. Nonsense. We don't need that here. Instead, we just have a plain English conversation with Buildy. This is why Buildy exists. It is meant to be the tool for ordinary people who want to build and grow their businesses, not AI masters. You do not need to become a master of AI and know anything about prompting or using AI in any way to make this work. That's why Buildy was created. So one thing I do want to let those of you who are experienced with AI take all the prompting knowledge that you have currently and set it aside. So while we're working with Buildy, don't do those things. You actually can make Buildy give you worse results. If you take massive prompts that you got somewhere or that you built with ChatGPT and you dump it into Buildy, you will get worse results. Buildy is intended to work with just regular, plain old English, giving it instructions just like you would as if you hired a real human developer and you were going to talk through your project with a real human programmer or marketer. Let's say you hired a marketing team and you hired a website designer. It's just how you would talk to them is how you will talk to Buildy. And we'll come all the way through building your website, launching it, getting a domain name registered for it, setting up all your email marketing, doing all your social media marketing, doing your ads, doing your search engine marketing. We'll do all of this, launch your business, and have traffic coming in by the end of day 4. And I mean, anyone can do this. This is not for some people that are technical or people that are AI masterminds. Anyone, regardless of your tech experience, can get all of the results that I just said by the time we're done with day 4. And I do want to take this time to remind you that today we're here open out in the public doing our early day. We have a pre-game day we're doing today. Tomorrow it's locked, it's private, and you must register in order to be part of this going forward. You will not be able to get into the private sessions that we'll be doing together starting tomorrow unless you register. So to register, you head on over to just4hours.com, which I think that's what I pinned in the chat, but I'll put it in again. Just4hours.com. Ticket is free to be able to be part of the live events. You will get live with me and then 24-hour replays totally for free. Now, there are some options if you want to upgrade to VIP and you want permanent recordings and you want checklists and guides and a bunch of extra stuff. You can take those extra options if you choose, but everyone can attend for free and be part of the 20. We'll be live together each day, and you'll have 24 hours of replays, and then the next day starts, and we'll go through for the next 4 days and launch this business. So today was just the early day. Okay, now let me go back to look at my notes to see where we left off. Okay, that's where we left off. Which, by the way, this presentation I made is pretty cool, right? Buildy made it for me. Same thing. I just talked to Buildy and it made this for me. So, even this diagram, this right here, Buildy made this whole thing. So not only does it build websites, it builds full-blown apps, sales funnels, lead generation, stores, anything you want, and does all of your marketing for you. All you got to do is talk to it. So pretty cool that it built me this. So now what I would like to do is do a little bit of Q&A. So I have had a hard time keeping up with questions. Just I'm here by myself today. Tomorrow, I'll have a whole team here to help you with questions and help me manage the chat. But today, it's all me. And so I'm going to try to take up some questions here. Here's a good one from Andrea. Do you get a limited amount of time to speak to Buildy? Yeah, there is a daily limit. Voice AI is incredibly expensive. So you do get 30 minutes a day to chat with Buildy. when I first launched our voice feature, we had people that like in the first week had already talked to Buildy 25 to 30 hours in the first week. And that cost us a fortune, spent thousands and thousands of dollars on voice minutes that week. So we restricted it down. It's 30 minutes a day you have to chat with Buildy. And you, by the way, you do have, to answer this question more fully, let me show you here. You can always come, here, I've got to hide myself again. You can always come down here and talk to Buildy with just plain old text. You know, you can chat with Buildy in text, and that, you know, you don't have the 30 minutes a day limit. So you can always come down here. If you run out of voice minutes, just keep talking to Buildy down here in the chat. That's all. Let's go back full screen. Now, let me keep rolling down. This is from Edward. Is Buildy independent AI, or is it connected or linked to other AI like ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, etc.? Okay. So I'm going to try to explain this as non-technical a way as I can, right? So there are all of these different models, AI models out there that, you know, like ChatGPT has a whole bunch of models, you know, which is a company called OpenAI. They've got a bunch of models. You know, Elon's Grok, it has models that you can tap into to get it to do things. There are models for making images. There are models for making videos. There are models for doing audio. There are there's all of these tools. And this is kind of part of the problem for the average person is which tool do you use? Which model do you use? Well, Buildy is an entire system of what are called agents. And Buildy, all of the different agents have different tasks and can do different things. And they have access to a whole bunch of different models. Some of our agents might use a model from OpenAI, right? Or ChatGPT. Some might use Grok. Some might use Gemini. Each model is good at specific tasks. And so our system figures out which AI model it needs to do the task at hand for you. It picks that model and then executes the command and gives it back to you. So you don't have to worry about this stuff. You don't have to worry which model to use. Buildy always knows what the best model is for the task you're asking it to do. And it automatically picks it and uses it. It could be an image model. It could be a text model or a voice model, or there's all these different things. It will pick them for you, and it can choose from a huge list of a whole bunch of different models from a whole bunch of different companies. So you don't have to think about that. You just let Buildy do all that all the AI thinking and AI strategy, let it do it for you. You just talk to it. Okay, that was from Edward. So Eli's talking about our AI credits. I think it's more of a statement than a question, but we do have credits, so you can use a certain amount of messages per month, a certain amount of voice minutes per day. So there are credit limits, and you can see all of that on our pricing page. When you go to buildy.ai/start, get your trial, and you'll be able to look at all the credit packages and what's included with each plan. Okay. Great little commentary. Thank you, Andrea. Anyone can do this in the system with Buildy. No techie needed, just talk and strategy. Love that. Some great comments. Thank you, Fluffy Puffball. I love your screen name. Buildy's doing better than most AI I have used. Cool. David's asking, I already have Buildy. Can I get the 10-day free trial? No, the 10-day trial was just for, that's for brand new people who haven't used it yet. But thanks for being a customer, though. Glad to have you be part of the Buildy family. Question on our future live sessions. All of our sessions will be at 2 p.m. Pacific. That's 5 p.m. Eastern. So you'll have to figure out your time zone everywhere else. But 2 o'clock Pacific, California time, my time, 5 o'clock Eastern time is when we'll be doing all of our sessions each day. Okay. Here is a question. Can I do this all on a cell phone? Technically, yes. It's not nearly as easy, right? It's so much easier to use Buildy on a desktop computer or a tablet. It's kind of a pain to use a little screen to work with Buildy, but it can be done. I have seen people build and launch businesses from their cell phone. I just can't promise you it will be as easy. The desktop is just way easier. All right, let's see here. I think that's it for questions on this round. So you can, we'll come back and do a little bit more Q&A in just a minute. I do want to let you know that we have a community, which is a vital part of our 4-day challenge. So when I'm going to be doing these challenges, each day we're going to have a live session, and then we're going to bounce over into school. So this is where our community is. In fact, let me just give you, let me give you a link here. 1 second. Let me just get my link. I have a referral link I want to use. It's a crazy long link, but I'm going to put it in the chat right now. So if you head to the link I just put in there, you'll be able to join our school community, which has been, I haven't looked at there today, so let's see what's in there. Oh, I'm in a private browser here. Hold on. Let me open another tab and go to school. And okay, this is what we got happening in school today, which, wow, 30 membership requests. Okay. So, and I just realized I forgot to put a post to today's live broadcast in here, but join us in school. As you can see, we've got 3,500 members and growing. And we would love to have you be part of this. And each day I'm going to come back to school and I'll be, oh, actually you guys don't, no, it's not coming through. Darn it. Hold on. Now I got to share a different screen. Hold on. Let me share. That's just me being silly. There we go. Okay, so there's school. I got 30 memberships we got to get approved. And here's what school looks like. So we got a very active school community with everyone in here helping you build and grow and launch your business. So definitely become part of the community. It'll be a vital part of our time together each day. And here, you know what? I'm going to pull this off screen real fast and approve everyone. So all the people waiting for approval, I'm just going to mass approve everyone right now. Approve, 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 approve. It's a lot of approvals. Let me just get everybody approved real fast. And I'll do another round. I'll come back in a couple of minutes and make sure I let everybody in. I'm going to do it real fast, so I'll probably, unfortunately, allow somebody in who's going to spam our community, but we'll nuke their posts if they do. Approve, 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 approve. Okay, down to the last one. Cool, Steve, I just approved you. And I'll come back and do more approvals in a few minutes. Okay. Good, got the approvals done. And I'm going to go back to the correct screen and make sure I'm sharing my mic. Share. All right, so we'll do some more Q&A. And by the way, I saw earlier people asking for the recordings. So would you guys like, when you signed up for the workshop, it gave a chance to get our recordings. I was thinking about giving a second chance link so that everyone has another shot at being able to get the VIP recordings. Do you guys want that? Anybody want a second shot at being able to grab the recordings? Let me know. I'm going to get the link behind the scenes here. Here, I'm going to paste the link to someone wants the school link. I'll put it back in again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you guys want that again. So here, let me do this. So this is going to be a direct link straight to the replay, the VIP replays. Okay. So let me pop this in. So it's kind of a long link, but I popped it into the chat. If you click that, that will get you a direct access to be able to claim the replays if you want those. And what that'll give you is permanent recordings. So it'll be the actual live show that we're going to be doing today and over the next 4 days. You will get permanent access to all of those recordings. Plus, you will get a checklist for each day. Every day has a separate checklist, a guide, a whole implementation guide, and the transcripts from each day. So everyone who opts to grab that, you will get all of those things, plus some other bonuses. You can read all about it on that page. And these are unique and new replays for this challenge. So they are recorded from the actual challenge. So I see this is a question from Wesley. Is it some past recording? No, this is from the actual challenge that we're delivering live this week is what you will get in these recordings. Okay, cool. Question from Dave about Buildy itself. I'll do a quick Buildy question. After you submit a request to Buildy, why can't we stop it? Yeah, that's just unfortunately the way the system is architected. When you submit your request, you have to wait for that turn to be over. So if you submit a chat request, you just got to wait for the whole turn to be over before the next one. Cool. Fluffy Puffball, is it live? Indeed it is. Cool. Let's see what other questions I might have missed. Michael says Buildy becomes your best friend once you talk to him. Yeah, he's very friendly and he's very very helpful. He'll offer to help guide you through the whole process. And while you're on our challenge, by the way, don't let him talk you into doing stuff. Just follow the challenge and then wait for me, right? So like when you do your research, like I showed you today, then you talk to Buildy, you let him do the research, and then he's going to suggest that you keep doing more stuff. Just tell him no, and then turn off the chat. So, okay, cool. Now so replays, this is a question coming in from Debbie about how replays are going to work. So for everyone who joins, you get 24-hour replays for free inside school. So every day we're live, we take the recordings, we will post them in school. So you'll need to be part of our school community. It's free. And then when they'll be there in school for 24 hours, and then they come down, and then the next day starts. And then the next day will be live. Those recordings will be up for 24 hours, and then they come down, and then so forth, right? So there'll be a 24-hour set roughly. I guess technically it would be like 22 hours by the time the show's over and we post them. And then the next day starts. Now, if you buy the VIP upgrade and you want permanent recordings with all the bonuses and extra stuff, then those are permanent. You'll have access to them forever. Okay. Good tip from Eli. Be aware here. I'll put it on screen here. Be aware that Buildy will immediately go out and do what you talk about. He is eager. He is very eager to build your business for you. This is true. So if you tell him you want a website, he'll build it. All right, cool. Cool. Let's see. So Anna already built a project on Buildy. Do I need to start a new account? No. So Anna, if you started something in Buildy, it would be a project inside your account. So you don't need a new account. You'll use the same login and password, and you'll just if you want to make a new project, or you could learn from me on these days and apply what you learned to your existing project. Either way, you can make a new one or use your existing project, but you don't need to buy a new Buildy account. Just use the one you already have. And you can always make another project if you want to. Okay. Wesley owns some earlier recordings that we have. And so Wesley, those will stay the same. So those are there's a whole website there. Those recordings will stay the same. And then there'll be a new set for this particular challenge. But they will be similar. So you're not going to miss out on a lot. Okay, cool. So Timothy asking again about recordings. So I'll pop the link there. Daryl Cross noticed something. So Bildy's voice, it'll get higher and lower in pitch when you talk to him. It's really kind of funny. It kind of reminds me of, it's really going to date me. Anybody here remember Max Headroom? Do you guys remember that? Who's old like I am? Any old people here? Do you remember Max Headroom? Anybody? He was AI before there was AI, right? All the way back in the late 80s, early 90s, I think. And so, when Bildy starts to speed up and talk fast and then slow down, it reminds me of Max Headroom. But anybody here who's younger is going to be like, who the heck is that? But all you old people like me remember that. Okay. Here's a good one from Donna. Can Bildy evaluate your business? Almost like how Google, like Notebook LM. Yes. So Bildy is, would you guys want to do it? Should I do another business evaluation? You guys want to use Bildy again? We'll do it together. I'll show you that one more time. Who wants to do that? Give me a me in the chat if you want to do another one. I'll demonstrate it again. So Donna, yes, Bildy goes out on the web, is doing searches and research on the web. Every time you ask it to, if you ask him to do research, that's what he does. Now, so just be clear with him. If you want him to do research, you've got to specifically tell him. And then he'll go out and he will search the web and come back and give you real world data is how that works. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, and a few more people remembering Max Headroom. Okay, and somebody, you want to do another one. So let's do another one. Can you guys, I'm going to pick one of you at random. So who here has like a general idea for a niche, but you're not certain about it and you need some guidance? Tell me about it in the chat right now. I'm going to give everybody a minute to type that in, and then I'll pick one and we'll do another round of research with Bildy, and I'll show you how that works. So I'll give it a minute to let you all type that in, and then I'll pick one. So I'm looking for someone who maybe if you've already picked your niche, then don't answer. But if you have like some general ideas for your niche, but you're just not certain yet, tell me about that in the chat, and I'll pick one of you and we'll do another session. Okay. Cool. Question from Anna about free trials. Yeah, Bildy's always been a 10-day free trial. So that's what we're doing today, Anna. So yeah, it definitely is a 10-day free trial. And that's for new customers is how it was when Bildy offers that. And let's see. An agency. I see. Not seen a lot of answers yet, so I'm going to give it another moment to let you guys type in some more ideas. Yeah. So far, I've got Michael's niche, which is an agency. That's kind of a general one that we could ask Bildy to help us refine it. Here's another one. Personal CFO training and coaching for middle-aged families planning retirement. Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. Helping people find lost pets, overwhelmed high-functioning person's parents, elderly care, water treatment. Okay, I'm going to grab a couple of these. Let's do a couple. So let's start with this one. There's my mouse. Get back up here. Well, I'm trying to get out of full screen mode. Come on. There we go. We'll come down to Buildy, do a quick refresh, make sure that we're good. So I'm going to start with the finance one. I kind of liked that one. So, okay, why is my mouse not working? Come on, mouse. There we go. Sorry, everybody. My mouse keeps freezing on me. I am not sure what's happening. Okay, hopefully this computer is not going to lock up, which I think it might have just done that. Oh, come on. Stand by, everyone, having technical difficulties. I wonder if it's the battery in my mouse. Is it dying? Oh, no. Hold on, everyone. So my keyboard is working, but the mouse suddenly went haywire. Let me turn it off and back on again. Okay, that seemed to have fixed it. So, all right, apologies, everyone. When it fails, all else fails, turn it off and back on again. Okay, cool. All right, so then I am going to go back to Buildy here, and we're going to speak to Buildy. And the one that I am going to, where is my mouse again? Oh, it's freezing again. Darn it. I wonder if the batteries are dead. Here, stand by, everyone. I don't even know how to replace the batteries in this mouse. Here, hold on. I'm going to see if anybody in my house is here. Anybody out there? Is anyone out there? Can someone find me a AA battery? My mouse is dead. So hopefully we've got a AA battery in the house.
Just one.
Just one. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
It might be dead.
Oh, it might be dead too. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Somebody found a battery. Let's see if this works. See, proof that it's live here for everyone. Okay. That seems to have done the trick for now. Okay. Okay. So let me go back up here and find the one that I picked. And I'm going to do more than one. So if I missed you, we'll come back to it. Okay. So this is somebody who is a CFO, so someone who's a master in finance, wants to coach middle-aged families into retirement. So this is an example of a kind of getting an idea for a niche, but not quite knowing. Oh, now I have a whole bunch of batteries being provided to me. Okay, good. Now I have like a whole pack of batteries for in case the mouse goes crazy. But this is an example of like a general idea that as you've gone through the Ikigai exercise, and then you got to figure out how to turn that into a niche, right? And this is a perfect example of that. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to go to Buildy right now, and we'll get started.
Hey there, Bill. I'm Buildy. I can help you build a website, run market research, set up marketing campaigns, and more. What are you working on?
Yeah, I need your help doing some research. I want to start a new business, and I'm just not certain what my niche should be. I'm looking for like my unique angle and positioning and who I should be serving and what my messaging should be for my new business. Because I'm a CFO, and I would like to coach and help middle-aged families that are planning for retirement. And I'm just not sure what angle I should go with. Please do some market research and come back and give me some ideas.
That is a great space to be working in. There is real demand and you have serious credibility as a CFO. Let me get my team on this right away. I'm setting up your project space for this research right now, so we can keep building on it as things come in. Your project space is live, and the team is already digging into the retirement planning coaching market, looking at niches, competitors, and positioning angles that could really set you apart. I'll keep you posted as things come in.
All right, I've muted him so he doesn't hear me. So now he's going to go out, do just like I mentioned before. He's searching the web.
While
and
the team works
crawling.
on this, I'm curious, do you have a sense of whether you'd want to focus more on the emotional and lifestyle side of retirement or the pure numbers and financial planning side? That distinction could really shape your positioning.
Like I kind of think it's like the tech of financial planning. So it's more about the numbers and strategies and tactics. But I do think that it would be good to highlight the end result of like what all that hard work is going to get them at the end. So that's like where the lifestyle comes in, I think.
That is a really sharp combination. Lead with the strategy and rigor that gives people confidence, then anchor it in the life they are actually building toward. That framing tends to resonate strongly with analytical types who still have an emotional reason driving them. The team is currently mapping out the retirement coaching landscape, so the timing is good. One angle worth thinking about: there is a segment of dual income professional couples in their 40s who are high earners but feel behind because they have been focused on careers and kids. They want someone who can cut through the noise with a real plan, not just generic advice. That could be a strong sweet spot for someone with your CFO background. Does that kind of profile feel like the right person you want to be sitting across from?
Yeah, I really like that idea, but let's see what the research comes back. If the research supports that, then I think that'd be a great idea.
Absolutely. Let's let the data lead. The team is out searching the web right now for real market intelligence, so we'll have something concrete to work from soon. That's the right way to validate it before committing to a direction. The research is back, and it's really strong. The standout positioning is what I'd call the family CFO angle, targeting mass affluent families between 45 and 60 who are juggling retirement savings, college costs, aging parents, and career uncertainty all at once, and who need someone with real financial rigor to bring it all together. Your CFO background is the core differentiator here. Think audit mindset, scenario planning, stress testing, framed around a lead offer like a retirement readiness audit, rather than generic financial planning. The positioning line the research surfaced is something like helping high-achieving families retire with CFO-level clarity without sacrificing their kids, their parents, or their peace of mind. A natural next step would be building out a website that brings this positioning to life. We could craft the homepage messaging and structure around exactly this angle.
Okay, I'm going to hang up on Buildy. And then you can also see he comes back with some written guidance here as well. And so this was from, I don't know how to pronounce if it's Geo or Geox Financial. How does that sound to you? So there's an example of being able to take a general broad idea, bring it to Buildy, let him do the market research, and help come up with your unique angle for your business and your niche. Great. Let's see. A lot of other really great ideas in here. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through trying to pick. I told you guys I do a couple of them, so I'm picking another one. Let's see. So Timothy is making a decision whether or not to work with Bob Diamond or work with Buildy. So personally, I vote for Buildy, but I like Bob Diamond and everything he teaches there too. So definitely a friend of Buildy, and it's a tough choice. I'd pick Buildy, but I might be a little biased. Let's see. We have Off the Grid Living. Okay, this is another one that would be really good because it's kind of a broad topic. Okay, so we're going to do that one next. I'll do a couple more, so we'll keep doing more. But I do want to take a moment to remind you that today is our early access, our free public day of our workshop. I have a workshop that begins tomorrow. We will spend 4 days together, an hour a day. And by the end of day 4, your business is launched. Your website is up, sales funnels, lead generation, ads, social media content, blogging and search engine optimization, everything needed to get free and paid traffic flowing to your website. Some of you will actually have leads coming in that by the end of the 4th day. And who knows, we'll cross some fingers. Maybe some of you might even have your first customer by the end of day 4. So that is our plan. And tickets are free. There's no charge to attend these sessions, but you've got to register. So what you'll want to do right now is go to just4hours.com, register for that. That's the first thing that you need to do today. Is before you leave, make sure you're registered. Otherwise, you will not be able to get in. Tomorrow's broadcast is a private, locked broadcast. If you want in, you must claim your ticket by going to just4hours.com. And let me just pop that into the chat one final time here. Where is my link? There it is. I'll pop that in. And then the other thing, there's 3 things that you will need to do today, 3 action items. That's number 1, is make sure you've got your ticket. It's free to get into the challenge. Then 2, make sure you have your Buildy account. And to get your Buildy account, that is also a free trial. So you'll have 10 days. You got to put a credit card in, and you will need to sign up, but you will have 10 days. Let me put the link to that in. To use Buildy, we're going to do it together, just like you've been seeing me do here. Every day, I will show you exactly how to use Buildy to get your business launched. But you will need a Buildy account to make that work. And then the other one is our school community. So if you've got your Buildy account, you've got your ticket to the challenge, next up is get into school. So school is where our community is at. That's where we'll be hanging out all week. I'll be in there hanging out with you guys. So I'll be live each day at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 Eastern. And then throughout the day, I'll also be hanging out inside our school community, helping all of you get through this challenge. So not just me. Starting tomorrow, it's me plus my whole team. So we've got a very, very skilled and knowledgeable team that is behind me to help with chat questions, to help with school in the community, and help you with everything you need to be able to launch and deploy your business. So that's all what's happening next. And so the next thing I wanted to do is I'm going to take up Dee Kessner. I'm going to take up yours, and we're going to do a round of Buildy research for this. And I'll show you again an example of how you get Buildy to do your research for you. And real quick before we do here, I'm going to let YouTube do a quick ad break. So one moment, I'm going to let YouTube do a quick ad break, and I'm going to get a little sip of coffee, and then we'll do the very next demo, and then I'll do more Q&A. So we'll be right back. Okay, I'm probably on camera still for some people while YouTube's doing an ad break. It doesn't do an ad break for everyone, unfortunately, but you get to watch me drink some coffee. And then we're going to pick up with Q&A and more demos and all of that. Okay. This gives everybody a chance to go do all the things, right? You can go register for the challenge, grab your Buildy account, get your school account, and then we'll be getting started here in just a moment with what's next. Okay. All right. So now hopefully everybody's back. I got myself some more caffeine. You guys got all the tickets and registered for all the things? And we'll move on. Here we go.
Hey there, Bill. I'm Buildy. I can help you build a website, run market research, set up marketing campaigns, and more. What are you working on?
Yeah, I want to start a new business, and I need you to do some market. Got to unmute him. Yes, I need you to help me with some market research, so that way I can launch a new business. And I want to go into like the off-grid living niche, but I really don't know exactly what my business should be. Like, what niche exactly should it be? Who exactly should my customers be? Like, what positioning? What problems can I solve? Like, I really need to get some advice on what this business should be that I want to launch. And can you do market research for me and come back and give me some advice?
Absolutely. That's a great space to dig into. Before I kick this off, just one question. Do you have any existing skills, interests, or resources that might shape what kind of business makes sense? For example, are you more hands-on and technical, or more into content, coaching, or selling products?
I think it's going to be, I think like content and coaching and things, but I could also promote affiliate products too.
Perfect. That gives me a solid angle to work with. Let me get this started for you. Creating your project space now around this off-grid living research. Once your project space is live and the team is already digging into the off-grid living market for you. I'll keep you posted as things come in. This research is going to give you a really solid foundation to build on.
Okay, cool. While he's doing research, I've got him muted so he doesn't hear me. It distracts him when I leave.
While the team is working on this, one thing worth thinking about is who the off-grid curious person actually is. There are a few very different types, from people who want to fully disconnect to folks who just want lower utility bills and more self-sufficiency. Knowing which group resonates most with you could sharpen everything from your content topics to your coaching offer.
I think they're like people who want to be self-sufficient and, not necessarily about saving money, just being independent and free and self-sufficient, so that they can exist without being dependent upon the grid.
That's a really clear and compelling angle. People who want freedom and independence, not just frugality. That kind of identity-driven motivation is actually really powerful for building a loyal audience around content and coaching, because these people aren't just buying a product, they're buying into a lifestyle and a version of themselves. One thing that could set you apart is positioning yourself as a guide for the transition, like helping people who are still on the grid but actively planning their exit. That's a huge underserved group who have the motivation but feel overwhelmed by where to start.
So at this point, just let me know once the research comes back.
Of course, I'll let you know as soon as it's ready.
I'm trying to get him to be quiet. Which is great when you're not trying to do a live show. He's very helpful and has a lot of good recommendations and questions and insight, but it's tough to do a live show and talk to him all at the same time. So I asked him to be quiet there. I saw some questions about timing for our sessions coming up. So all of our sessions start at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So here in California, it's 2 o'clock. But on the East Coast, Eastern time is at 5 p.m. So that is when we go live each day of the coming days of the challenge. Just want to clarify that. I saw a little bit of confusion in the chat about that. A couple other people asking about niches that are pretty good. And I can keep doing more demos. I know, the audience is kind of faded out a little bit, but I can do a few more demos of research with Buildy and answer any questions you've got about Buildy, about the challenge, or about picking your niche, right? Because tomorrow you need to come ready to launch your business. So today you're going to talk to Buildy. You're going to get clear on what niche market you're going to go into, and then you're going to end the conversation. Don't let Buildy build your website. End the conversation, and then we're going to come back tomorrow.
The research is back, and it's really solid. The strongest recommendation is to launch a practical off-grid planning brand aimed at first-time land buyers and remote workers. People who want freedom and self-sufficiency, but are overwhelmed by where to start and terrified of making expensive mistakes. The positioning that came out of this is the practical off-grid guide for people who want freedom, not fantasy, which fits perfectly with the content and coaching model you mentioned. There's a clear offer ladder too. Starting with a free land buying checklist, moving into a low-ticket starter blueprint, and then paid coaching calls for people actively planning their transition. A natural next step would be building out a simple website with an email capture and that free checklist as the lead magnet that started.
No, Buildy got a little bit weird here. So I want to get clarity here. This is an angle I hadn't thought of before. I was just thinking people that would already be in their homes wanting to become self-sufficient. So the research came back and said we should be targeting people that are like buying land or wanting to move into a new rural home. Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's actually a sharper angle than the broader people already at home market. The research is pointing to people who are still in the planning and dreaming phase, actively researching how to buy land and set up off-grid systems before they make the move. The insight is that these people are highly motivated. They're about to spend serious money, and they're terrified of making the wrong decisions, which makes them a great audience for content, coaching, and affiliate recommendations around gear.
Here, I'm going to hang up on Buildy here. And you can see here in the chat, you have the written recommendation, including even a launch plan, some example products that he's recommending you should launch. So all of the research in detail is in the chat underneath his verbal conversation. So it's always worth coming back and reading that and not just listening to him. So once you're done talking to him, you can come in and really read through the more thorough report. But this is an example of an insight that I wouldn't have necessarily known, right? So when I think about the off-grid living sort of market, I immediately start to think about people that are already in a rural area. They already live there and they want to go off-grid. And the research is supporting that the better business model is to go after the people that are pondering moving into a rural area, maybe buying their first land or moving into a home, maybe out of a urban environment into a rural area. And I think now that I think about it, that makes a lot of sense, because that's going to indicate that likely they probably have a little bit of income. So they have some income that they're already planning to invest into moving, and they're going to know that they need to establish new off-grid systems. So they're probably going to be more financially qualified. And that makes a lot of sense. And I would not have thought of that except for Buildy's research here. That's an example of a way to really find a good niche of people who can afford to pay you for your products, services, trainings, coaching, whatever it is you're going to be offering. Okay, cool. Let me try to rewind back here and answer some more questions. Aaron says, what if our trial expired already? Yeah, so then, Aaron, you'd have to definitely grab a plan. So you would want to upgrade and get a plan. So free trials are available for brand new customers. And if your trial expired, you'll need to just, bite the bullet and grab a plan. This is one from the Joy Design Lab. If I build an app, would it have subscription abilities? Would I be able to offer it as on a marketplace? So the second part of your question, I don't totally understand. This is from the Joy Design Lab, but the first part, it absolutely will do a subscription business. Yeah, if you want to build a business where you charge people monthly for a subscription to your website, absolutely it can build that for you. Whether you want to build a course or something else, that they have to pay you a monthly subscription. It can handle your payments. It can handle all of the membership and creation of account, the create account, login pages, all of the stuff that you need. Buildy can build all of that for you. It will custom build you a complete solution for that kind of a business. And Buildy can build almost anything, honestly. So if you want an e-commerce store, it can build that. If you want a sales lead generation funnel, it can build that. You want like a sales funnel with like upsells, one-click upsells, it can build that. So pretty much anything needed to deploy your business on the web and launch can be made by Buildy. Okay. Another one from the Joy Design Lab. Several good questions. This one is, if it created a website in an email capture, would that be a Buildy website? Yeah, so it can build a website for you that captures leads, subscribers, and then they end up on your mailing list. And they can do all of your email marketing. So Buildy does all your email marketing, so you don't have to buy extra tools, like external tools. It does all of your email marketing, and it builds the lead generation tools. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to build your website and create a lead generation machine that will help you get leads, which, by the way, the Just 4 Hours site, everything that I'm using to run the challenge is run in Buildy. So Buildy created the opt-in forms. It's doing all of my email marketing. It's doing everything to build and launch and help me run this challenge. Great insight. That's what, based on that last research. So the Joy Design Lab says, well, I have to purchase a domain and get hosting. You get the domain through Buildy. When you create a project, you register your domain in Buildy and we host it. You don't have to pay for any additional hosting. Here, I'll show you. Let me just show you real fast. So if you come in under Manage, there's a whole bunch of options of all the different things that Buildy does. And what you're going to do is come to domains and email, and then we can, I'm just going to make something up, .com. Oh, except we cannot have special characters in a domain name. So then you can search for your domain name, register it, and it will attach and launch your website. There's no need for you to buy additional hosting, outside services. There's no outside domains. It's all done inside the system. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Does Buildy make checklists and guides for lead magnets too? Yes, it can. If that's what you want, you just have to tell it, and absolutely it can. Well, I see Eli helping out a lot in the chat, giving answers. So thank you, Eli. Okay, cool. So Aaron, you can follow along with the training and take notes and all of that. And then when it's time for you, when you have the budget to upgrade your Buildy, you can definitely do that. So I would recommend, don't quit. So stick with me, follow through the 4 days, and make notes and just have your plan ready. And then you can get running as soon as you can afford to grab your Buildy plan. So Dr. Peter says, will this clip be up later on today? Yes, you will. This training will be available for 24 hours. You'll be able to rewatch it. You can rewind back and rewatch any of today's training. It'll be made available for the next 24 hours. This one is from Jay Chrysler. I'm thinking of affiliate offers that will be positioned on my website, maybe offering expensive dog collars. Is that the correct position for me to be taking? So Jay Chrysler, it depends a little bit on who your main website is going to serve, right? So if you're maybe you have something you're helping urban dog owners, and you're targeting people that are affluent and have a disposable money, that could work fine. But yeah, we'll talk more about how you make money, like different type of money making options a bit later during the challenge is too. We're going to come back to the money making a little later in the challenge. Eli noticed our new Q tab. So we have a new feature that I haven't told the world about. It's here under Q, which there's no queue for this project, but this creates a queue of tasks that you need to do or things to approve for your marketing. So you notice that. That's yeah. We didn't even tell anybody that was there. We snuck it in. Which, by the way, that's another thing. Buildy has been a continuous evolution. We have a huge roadmap of all these features that are being added into Buildy, and there's many more to come. So you've heard all of the stuff it does. There's more coming, and you will get these features as part of the plans when you join and grab your Buildy account. We have things coming like SMS marketing, which is not currently part of the system, but will be built right into it very soon. We have an entire analytics platform that will help you analyze the users to know what are they doing on your website. You know, what ads are working, what social media things are working. It will analyze all of your results and then give you recommendations on how to grow your business. That's coming. And you guys will continue to get these features as we roll them out and release them. And there's even more stuff, which I won't talk about today, but there's many more features that we will continue to release. And I'll bet people in the chat could testify to that. So who here has been a Buildy customer for a while and saw, like Eli noticed today, that we slipped in a new feature and we didn't even tell you? Another feature we just slipped in is social media scheduling. So you can schedule out all of your social media content. Coming soon is your whole social media calendar to manage all of your social media content on a really awesome calendar. That's coming soon. Here's a good question from Rad. I'll just keep abbreviating it. Is everything SEO ready? We're covering that on day 2. I'll show you exactly how to make it SEO ready. It's pretty easy. I'll give you a sneak peek. If we go to manage, we go to marketing and ads, you'll notice that there is an SEO and AI ranking option. If we open that, hey, wonder what that toggle right there does. How about it does all of your SEO and makes your site, how would I say this? It makes your site highly desirable for the different search engines and AI recommendation engines out there. And there is that switch. We're going to talk about how to use this and how this all works on day, here, let me see, what day is it? It is, here, hold on, let me go home. This is our agenda right here, by the way. So this is our day we're on right now. Tomorrow is day 1. Day 2 is about email and lead generation. Day 3 is about social media. Day 4 is about getting traffic and getting your first sale. And then which day? I know one of these days we talk about SEO. I think it's day 2. Day 2, I think, is a combination of email and SEO. So then we got some bonuses and other stuff coming too. But this is the day we're on today. Now I got to get back to the right slide. Which, by the way, if you do decide to grab our VIP upgrades for the replays, the permanent recordings, you'll get a copy of this slide deck too. So I'll give you a copy of my slide deck if you upgrade to that. So, which is the other offer I'll remind everybody of. If you're already registered and you passed on the recordings, but you've changed your mind, you're like, oh, I should get those, then let me give you the link for that one more time. So I'll give you the direct link to go grab those. And with it, you'll get the permanent replays, transcripts, implementation guides, step-by-step checklists, and my slide decks. You'll get all the decks from all of the days. And you just go to that link and you can grab your upgrade. Okay. That is one of our VIP upgrades available. And I popped that link into the chat. Let's see here. I see Aaron asking if we do Circle. So no, we're not on Circle. We're in School. So as you saw back here. So we're in School is where our community is. We have a very strong, very active community in School, which is pretty awesome to see. Everyone's in there helping each other. And I'll pop that link one more time to my referral link. And then let's see here. So it looks like Bruce says he's having a tech support question. So Bruce, I can't help you while I'm here right now live on camera, but I would recommend that you email support. You probably already have, but just in case you need to get in touch with them, support is help@buildy.ai. I'll pop that into the chat, and hopefully they can help you with that. I don't know why that would be. Love this. Thanks, Anthony. By the way, Aaron wants to remind everybody that Buildy does your whole pipeline, from traffic to leads to sales to all your email follow-up. It's all included in Buildy with no outside extra tools needed. By the way, this is a secret. So I'm going to, so this is something that Nikki noticed, and a very perceptive Nikki. So anybody here fill out my survey? Who here, I gave out after you went through the funnel, you registered for the workshop. I tried to get you to answer a survey. Anybody answer that survey? Let me know if you answered the survey. Give me a yes or a not yet. Give me a yes or a not yet if you answered that survey. Let's see. I want to see how many people did it. It's okay if you didn't. I won't call you out, I promise, but it's okay if you didn't. Yes or not yet. Did you do that? Did you do that survey? Yes. So the Joy Design Lab says, did I hear something about prizes? I'm going to give out money and prizes. So we have $5,000 worth of cash and prizes available to you just for participating. Now you've got to participate. So you'll see on day 4, you'll see how you win this stuff. But we have $5,000 in cash and prizes I'm giving away. In order to be eligible, you have to implement, you have to do it and be part of the challenge. Okay, so I saw people that waited to day 4, they heard about all the prizes, and then they tried to rush and get everything done at the last minute. So that's my way of bribing you to take action. I want you to implement. Each day, you're going to walk away with homework. You'll do your homework. And then by day 4, only those who have participated have a chance to win from our $5,000 prize pool that will be given away exclusively to those participating in the challenge. So that's, again, my way of, it's a bribe. It's a bribe to help you be inspired and motivated to take action and actually launch your business. So only those who make it through day 4 and launch are going to be eligible for the $5,000 in cash and prizes. So that is part of the deal. I see a lot of people talking about the survey. Some people didn't see the survey. Okay. Well, if you didn't see the survey, when you registered on the very, very final page, it should have given you a survey. Trying to find the link because I can send it to you directly, hopefully. Let's see, justmorehours.com/ oh yeah, it's just /survey. Okay, so if you haven't yet done the survey, I highly recommend you do, because something magical will happen. And there's a reason. I have a point for talking about all this, because Nikki noticed this. So those of you who filled out the survey, you might have noticed that the email follow-up sequence that you got was personalized to you. So what Buildy did was, first of all, Buildy looked at what choice you made. So this is how powerful Buildy is. This might be a little bit advanced for some people, and I want to show you something, okay? But those of you who know marketing will be blown away by this. So when you go to just 4 hours, you notice it asks you which of these 4 things best apply to you, right? I don't know what business to start yet. I have an idea I want to build. I want to grow an existing business, or I want to promote as an affiliate. So you've got these 4 choices. When you click this sales page on the fly changes and targets you specifically based upon your selection. So now this is a highly targeted sales page targeting your selection that you just made when you clicked, personalized for your, what you selected. But then it gets better, right? So if you go down here and you register for the challenge, Buildy remembers your selection permanently. So it knows what you picked on those 4 boxes. And then if you answered my survey, Buildy remembers your survey answers. And now every time it emails you, it can personalize that email to you in your unique situation. So let's think about it this way. Let me see if I refresh, if it'll pop back up. I don't remember if it's gonna. Okay. So do you think I should use a different marketing message for people who don't know what kind of a business to start yet, compared to those who already have a business they want to grow, right? 2 totally different types of people, totally different problems, totally different goals. They can both benefit from my training, but they have a whole different way of how I should be marketing to them. But Buildy will remember you. It will know which one you clicked. It will know what survey answers that you gave me, and then it will personalize your experience, not just on your sales page, but in all of your email follow-up. So that when I want to send you a marketing message to inspire you to show up, it's going to target you and give you the personalized individual message that you need to hear to inspire you to show up to my workshop. Right? So then when it's time for me to sell something, it's going to target you specifically and know all about you uniquely. So what Buildy does is unique one-to-one marketing. And this is something that, like, if you're a skilled marketer, you've been doing this a while, your mind has probably just been blown. This is so incredibly powerful technology that makes you make more money. It makes it easier for you to get sales with your email follow-up. It makes it easier for you to learn about your customers and your leads and what they need and want. And then Buildy can custom tailor the marketing to fit those specific needs. That's crazy. And it just does it out of the box. Like, all you have to do is turn it on and follow my training. You will have that. When you do my training and you follow through, if you get all the way to day 4, you will have a personal one-to-one email follow-up system, just like I do, installed and running in your business. Just show up for the next 4 days and follow the training and implement it. And that's what you will have. We will launch your business. You will have traffic flowing to your brand new website and your brand new business. You'll have a full lead generation funnel, including this personalized follow-up system that Nikki noticed in her inbox. And all of that will be installed on your business by the end of day 4. So I'm excited about that. I hope you are too, because not only do I use it, now you get to use the same technology. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Nikki said, there we go. Nikki gave an example. Anybody else notice that? Who else noticed that the survey changed the way Buildy talked to you in email? And now the Joy Design Lab says, now I'm going to go out and do the survey. I want to see this myself. Good question here. Aaron asks, is this short-term or long-term memory? Both. So Buildy does remember in the short term what you have said, but also it will selectively store long-term memories depending upon how important they are, right? Because, you know, if you think about like even humans, right? Like while we sleep and dream and while our brain is recycling, you know, it's sort of kind of reorganizing our memories in a sense, you know, like, so you store the data that you need and you don't store the data that you don't. And that's kind of how Buildy works, in a sense. It's kind of a funny comparison, but it has both short and long-term memory that shifts and adjusts according to what it needs to know. Okay. Eli says, the email sequence is writing at the time they are sent and they're personalized with info from the CRM. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, when you do a follow-up sequence, now you have an option. I'm going to teach this as we go. Okay, so as we build this out, as you follow along in the next 4 days, I'll teach you how to implement it. But there's a choice. You can do it either way. If you don't want personal one-to-one follow-up, you can do it the old way, right? Where it's just broadcast-based. It'll just send the same email to everyone. You can do that. I don't recommend you do it. I recommend you use the full AI features to personalize your follow-up, and I'll show you how you can do it either way. But both options are available, and all you got to do is talk to Buildy and tell them what you want. Cool. Oh, also, Lyle noticed the queue as well. That was a new feature we snuck in on you guys. Oh, lots of people are excited about the prizes. That's way back there. But yes, so we are giving out, it's $5,000 in cash and prizes. So now that we gave out only cash last time, but this time we're going to be giving out not just cash, but also some marketing prizes to help you launch and scale your businesses. So that's also going to be part of what we give away this time. Anthony is exactly right. Buildy is an all-in-one platform. That's the purpose of it. It's the whole point of it is so that anyone can launch a business without needing to like buy a dozen tools. Like up until now, if you wanted to like really do a good job with your marketing, you might have to buy a dozen different tools. And then you have to learn how to use each tool. And then you got to figure out how to make them talk to each other. And I know we have a lot of savvy marketers and business owners in the chat right now who I'm sure could testify to that, right? So instead of that, I just wanted one place where you just go and talk to Buildy in plain, simple English, and there's no more need for a dozen different tools, having to learn how they all work, how to make them play nicely together. Buildy just does it for you. And that's the whole point of the platform. Okay, cool. There we go. Cool. So Rad is not too interested in the workshop, wants to just jump in and build what he wants to build. No problem. Yeah, you just don't attend the workshop. So just go to Buildy, grab your trial. So you can go there right now. Go to buildy.ai/start, sign up, get your trial, and go for it. Jump in. You can jump in 2 feet first and just go for it. The trial is for you. The workshop is optional. If you don't want to attend, no problem. So Aaron is saying, so when I tell Buildy to remember something, it rewrites. I'm not totally sure I understand that question, Aaron, but I think the answer is yes, I think. a few more people noticing the personalized email follow-up response. And thanks, Nikki, for the great words. And cool. Well, then with this, I think we're going to be coming to a final round of Q&A. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another quick ad break. We'll do a quick ad break. I'll let YouTube do its thing while I drink a little more coffee, and then we'll do a final round of Q&A, and then we're going to wrap up today. So here goes the break. All right. Some of you are still hanging out with me. Some of you are seeing ads. Some are not. I wish it would be a universal experience when I tell YouTube to do an ad break. Some people see ads, some people don't. And it's some of you just stare at me, and I feel very awkward drinking my coffee. But we'll get back into Q&A. So if I missed your questions, put them in, and I'll try to pick them up for any of I missed. I know I missed a bunch of them. And my final refill. See, that's when I know it's time to head out, when my coffee cup is starting to run low. And with that, we are back. And yeah, some of you probably hit the skip button very fast, like probably Eli. Cool. And this is a great feedback here. I'm looking for cost savings from using different systems. And this is going to sound like a bunch of marketing hype, but I went out and found all of the tools that Buildy does, right? From a vibe coding tool, like, you can go out and get tools like Base 44 or Lovable or things like that will build websites and apps. Comes with that. We have our email marketing tools, our web hosting. If I went through, added up all the tools, $1,200 a month in tools to replace the stack that we have put into Buildy, and I recognize that's a crazy high number. So let's say even if you just got like the cheapest plan of every one of those tools, I think like it's hundreds or thousands, depending upon what level of the plan that you buy, of tools that are just included. So for one single predictable fee, you replace this whole stack of other outside tools that you'll never need to touch. You can cancel them. If you're paying for them now and you haven't got around to using them, cancel them, because Buildy's just going to do it for you. That's my proposition, is I want Buildy to be so easy to use so that anyone can build and launch their business. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing people have this desire. They really, really want to build and launch and scale their business. Sometimes it's someone who has like an offline business, an existing bricks and mortar business, and they're trying to figure out how do you bring it online and really utilize, the internet and AI to scale their business. Or maybe it's somebody who wants to start their first business and they're looking to build a business that they can run as they go into retirement. Well, I've seen so many people, it's like you, boom, hit right up against a wall when it comes to the tech. And it's a problem I've been trying to solve for many years, and we finally cracked it. So with Buildy, I can now confidently tell you that anyone, even if you don't have technical background, you don't have technical skills or technical knowledge, you can now benefit and get access to all of these tools and get results from them without having to become some sort of marketing genius or basically a programmer in order to use them. It's the first time I've ever been able to say that. And to my knowledge, I don't know of another tool out there anywhere at this time that does what Buildy does. There really is just, again, you can find tools to use AI to build websites or to make apps. You can find other tools that do a great job with email marketing. There is no tool that I know of that has the easy to use conversational interface that we've got. And by the way, we have an entire system we have built, our own proprietary system. 4 patents are in the works right now to cover what we have built to protect it and to be able to provide some of the state-of-the-art services to you. And it just doesn't exist anywhere else. So I hope to see you inside the rest of the challenge. And I sure hope you use Buildy. And of course, you can get your free trial when you go to buildy.ai/start. I'm going to put that into the chat again right now. Final time. And now I'll scroll back and answer the final questions. Here is a good question. If you want to be a Buildy affiliate, you could do that. And Major Kiki, we have a new feature coming you're going to really be interested in soon. So I hope to announce it in about 10 days from now that you're going to love. So, and by the way, you can be a Buildy affiliate if you want to promote Buildy. I'll pop that in out there. It's buildy.ai/influencers. If you'd like to promote Buildy and earn a commission, you get 25% commission for life on your referrals. Saw more people asking about the affiliate program, so I popped that out there for you all. This is Debbie. Has 5,000 clients I want to reach. Yeah, that would be fantastic for the affiliate program. And Debbie, sign up to the link I just put out there, buildy.ai/influencers, and I'll get Nick to reach out to you. So if you have a community of 5,000 clients you want to bring Buildy to, then Nick will work with you personally to help you with that. Nick is also my co-founder and my son, so he'd be happy to help you. For those who have large communities or large followings that want to promote Buildy, he'll work with you directly to help you do that. Cool. Can you send broadcast emails? That's a Eli question. Or no, that's not Eli. Yeah. Oh, you can. Sorry. That's Eli answering a question of Debbie's. So thanks again, Eli, for your help in the chat today. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, here, Cornell says, that's me wanting to start an online business. And that's what I'm so tired of seeing, like really good people who really have great things they want to bring to the world and launch businesses and set themselves up. Again, I see commonly people wanting to get a business established before they go into retirement, maybe even a business you can run on the side part-time. And then you just get stuck with the tech. And that was what we sought out to solve. That's what we have solved with Buildy. So, and there's Aaron, another great testimonial. Thank you there. Yeah, here's this from Debbie. Sounds awesome. I hate going from platform to platform. Yeah, that's why I built it, to escape that kind of trap. Okay, cool. Debbie definitely wants to be an affiliate. So yeah, sign up, buildy.ai/influencers. And then anyone who has a community, you have a following or a community and you want to bring Buildy to it, we will work with you personally to help you help your community. Cool. Can you build more than one business or website? Or do you have to have multiple subscriptions? So you can have multiple websites, multiple projects. You can build as many of them for you as you want. So the one thing is, if you're going to build websites or projects and sell them to other companies, you need to have our agency plan. So you'll have to talk to sales about that, but you would need to be on our agency plan if you intend to resell websites or offer marketing services to other businesses using Buildy. So that's the only exception to that. But if you're building your own business, let's say you're testing out a new idea and you want to launch a new business, no problem. You can continue to build more. Each one is just a different project inside your just one single Buildy account. Good question. Are there add-ons or top-up credits available? There are add-ons right now. Like if you build a voice app and you need voice minutes, like for phone calls, there are top-ups to buy minutes for phone numbers and voice minutes for phone calls. You can buy extra voice minutes if you like to talk to Buildy a lot. Domain names are an add-on. Right now, we have not yet offered top-up credits, but we've had a lot of people asking. So that's something that I think we're going to be providing soon. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Aaron, that is awesome. It's not just one, but two sons. So both my youngest and oldest are my co-founders in Buildy. One of them is a very talented finance and marketer. And the other one is he's got a master's in machine learning and AI. He's our head of AI. So I got both of them are my co-founders. So, which you're going to hear more about that tomorrow. So you're actually going to meet them. You guys want to meet who maybe some of you have already met at least one of my sons, but you want to meet my two sons, my two fellow co-founders? They're going to be hanging out with us tomorrow. Cool. Awesome. Let's see here. So Aaron asked, do I need enterprise if I'm not white labeling anything? So I think you mean agency. So Aaron, yeah, if you're going to be reselling stuff to companies, then yes, you will need an agency plan. If you're reselling the marketing services or tools or websites built in Buildy, and they're not meant for you, like if you build them for you, build as many as you want. But if you're going to build and then resell them, then you would need an agency plan. That is correct. Okay, cool. And Michael, thanks for all your great comments in the chat today. Michael, the donut baker and coffee maker. Let's see. Debbie's talking about teaching her grandsons her business, building a legacy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, you know what? Here, let me see if I have a picture. I think I have a picture. Let me just see if I still have that around. 1 second here. I'll share this with you guys. A little sneak peek. You're going to see this tomorrow, I think. Oh, it did not. Oh, it didn't let me share that. Oh, there we go. There they are. So that's the three of us. It was a pretty cool moment speaking to about 400, 450 people about Buildy from the stage. And then on the left is Nick. In the center there is Dylan. There they are. You'll meet them tomorrow. All right, cool. Then I think that wraps us up. So I appreciate all of you who have hung out here this long. Some of you have been here for the whole 2+ hours. Thank you for that. Now, tomorrow we will be starting with day 1. So show up tomorrow with at least the general idea of the business you want to launch. So you can rewind back on today's training, watch my earlier session on brainstorming your niche, talk to Buildy, get it to do your market research, let it help you, let it guide you, but don't build your site yet. Okay, so show up tomorrow and we're going to start building your website and launching your business. That's what the agenda is. And yeah, I really, really want to thank you for being part of this. I'm excited to spend the next 4 days with you, and we're going to do some awesome stuff together. And I'm going to bribe you $5,000 worth of stuff, cash. 3 of you will walk away with cash. So I'm going to be giving 3 of you cash prizes and more, all just as incentive to follow along and implement. So you're definitely going to want to implement each and every day. And then we'll give all of that away at the end. And so I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And with that, we'll wrap things up today. Go get your account. So final thing. register. Let me just I got to pop the links out. The businesses, the marketer that I am, the first thing you want to do is be absolutely sure you register. If you're not registered, you can't come tomorrow. It's a private broadcast. So that's at just4hours.com. Get your ticket. The next thing is you want to get your Buildy account. It is a free trial. You will need to put your credit card in, but you will not be charged for the subscription. You have 10 full days. And then if you love Buildy, you keep it and your subscription will begin. If not, cancel and you'll never be charged, not even 1 penny. And I'll pop that in there now. This is the final round of links. There is where you go to get that, buildy.ai/start. So those are the 2 things that you will absolutely need to join me tomorrow. And then, of course, you can join me in the school community, grab your permanent recordings, lots of stuff to do today. But those were the 2 main ones that you're going to want to do. And with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.